So this is a welcome back here video. 2018-2019 school year. And myself and Miss Tanny. Alright, so I think it's been maybe about 6 years or so before I posted something on a YouTube channel. So if you look at a comparison, things have probably changed drastically in here throughout. So this is African clawed frog tank. Again, these were all from students. There's 1 albino and 3 normal greens in there. There's 2 of our baby tilapia. These guys are about 1 year old or so. Sounded like a woodpecker in there, but they're actually cockatiels. Mom and dad are in there with 4 eggs. They've produced 9 babies for us so far, 6 of which have been adopted by Lorelai's family and by Jackie's family. And Jackie's going to be working on a new cage in September to hopefully take another one by mid-September, late September or so. Should be done. So most of the animals in the classroom, this classroom serves sort of as a sanctuary mini zoological park for the kids. So I received this one about 13 to 14 years ago from Brendan. One day came into the gym with a box, so I rehabbed her, and she's been with us since, because I don't have any outdoor flight cages for rehabilitation. So you know, they kind of imprint on me and they stay with me. This is something new for this year. This is extensions of learning wheel, and this is going to sort of take the place of traditional homework. A lot of different things on this wheel. So let's say we complete a topic, a summary, an experiment or a, hands-on activity of some sort. Then it's time for the typical homework. One of the kids from the room will come and spin this wheel, and all these different categories will symbolize a different assignment that the kids will do within the last 20-25 minutes of class. So the kids are going to determine the criteria for each assignment, but generally that's writing, music, flip grid acting. There's writing again, photography, flip grid response, and that may be it. Oh, and drawing, sketching, illustration. So new for this year, but it'd be kind of cool. Let's do it the first spin, see what happens. Music. That'll be a cool one. I'm going to be participating in all these too, so that's the hashtag, Instagram, Twitter, a little bit on Facebook. Here's another rehab work. I did this summer. This one came in. Omar, graduating Dickinson, came out of practice, saw it on the street, brought it back to his middle school, and that's Oliver. Same thing, same situation, rehab, sanctuary, pretty nice cage. Unfortunately, I don't have anything nor the time to do any outdoor rehabilitation for release, so they stay with us and the kids learn from them. So these are the 3 of the babies from Carlos and Julia. Carlos from Catherine, Julia from Osvaldo. We only had 1 Latino out of 9 young so far, so kind of a cool little genetic study we're doing there too. So hopefully in the next clutch we get another Latino, because Jackie's kind of excited about that. This cage was designed and built by students. Check the Instagram, you'll see all that. This box is filled with thousands of redworms. I'm not going to open it because then it's going to take me forever to close it again. Another rescue ready-root slider. This one's going to be transitioning into one of the pools. I guess a little bit bigger. 90-gallon freshwater aquarium. This one's been in the room for quite some time. In the past, this was an African fire-belly toad tank, if you look at the previous video. So Jose, now a Jersey City fireman and proud dad. We stayed, considerable amount of time after school back in the day, and we designed it. They actually bred. We had about 14, 15 babies or so. These are Synodontis petricola. Mom and dad are in there somewhere, but the 13 or so babies now kind of look like them. So we actually had 2 babies this past school year. Again, Instagram has pictures of them. Now this is all from students. Again, just one day guppies came in, 3 guppies, and now pretty much this entire shelf is all guppies. The hydroponic systems were designed by students. as well in a makerspace activity after school. Old 100-book challenge bin. If anyone's watching, you have these bins, you throw them on top of a 10-gallon. It's a passive flow aquaponic system, but it's works really well. These actually have pumps in them, so we do pump up water to the bed. There is clay there with some gravel. Mr. Nate has 3D printed this skull, serves as the reservoir and the overflow, and then we have geraniums and a tomato plant. Again, this is designed, this trellis, by students this past year. I'll explain kind of why it doesn't look as good as it should, but still fruiting. We got some tomatoes on there, not as much, but we have the young too. Again, another use of a bin, old science kits probably. Grow duckweed in it, and more fancy-tailed guppies. Same setup there with guppies, some plants. This was our styrofoam team last year. First place Lexus Eco Challenge. They worked with the consumption of styrofoam by darkling beetles. Oh, there's one. And there's all sorts of larvae in there too, but it's all buried in the sediment. 40-gallon. This used to be the ocean, probably in the previous video. Again, this feeds now the nutrients for the tomatoes. Duckweed culture, aquarium, guppies, more guppies, some plants, and that's that over there. This is Senya brought in 2 dwarf hamsters. This is one of them. The other 2 haven't come back yet from summer vacation. They'll be here shortly for this school year. We can go over this way. So this is one of my favorite things in the room, in addition to when the kids are here and the animals. This is basically just what I do. And this is my kids. Got my 2 biological on there and all of my other kids. So maybe you see yourself on there. It's going back some time. Missed some years when I was in 210 and not here, but for the most part, got a good mix of everybody. That used to be the old Robotics Room when we were still doing robotics prior to Project Reservoir. Now it's a storage area, filtration, a lot of Project Reservoirs based back there. You can Google that, learn about that a little bit. This used to be the initial Aquaponics Room, but we transitioned to a bigger room downstairs with the help of our custodial staff and Dr. Elder and everybody else. So this was a National Champs Tilapia team. This is one of their projects. They did a Hydrostacks, I believe it was called, so a basic hydroponic system running off of PVC. Herschel's working on one of these in McNair right now. Check out that guy too, Michael Filtrator, I believe, on Twitter. This is our kind of showcase tilapia, which powers all those geraniums. Alright, so we have our ocean. This used to be a 40, now it's a 55 back in the day. Actually, the start of Project Reservoir. Nice little note from Aaliyah. This, there's Lily. And there's little Jason too. Was our brown trout. So we started Project Reservoir brown trout. We won an Intel award, went to DC with a lot of cool people, and Dr. Ellis suggested something about the reservoir, and we kind of took it from there. And now it's an ocean, which needs the kids drastically to come back to actually help with the algae control on the glass. But I don't know if you're able to make out anything in there, but there's a clownfish, a cardinal fish, a chromis in there, a lot of different hermit crabs, but again the algae kind of has taken over. There's another wall there. This one actually is the first one when I came into the room. So my god kids are on there. You got Edwin, got the boys in the Air Force, you got Angel, you got that funny looking guy. Got me in 8th grade, 38 school, born, raised, reside, Jersey City. I got the whole crew. Got our Marlins team up there. Kovacs, me and Brown. Great crew there. Brought them to victory. Washington Park back in the day. That's where it started for me right there. Jersey Rec, working with kids. Working with animals since I was about 8. Thanks to my mom buying me stuff. Let's go this way. So we have a new Project Reservoir team, the snail team. We actually have 2 of the snails in there. So these are Chinese mystery snails, and there's a little baby. So they're gonna redo this entire system mid-September, late September or so, including down there, and you know, work all their experiments and data in there. There's the great Mr. Tiny's desk. Again, it's first day. I'm here pretty early, so. All right, so now we'll transition into the greenhouse. This is our national champ team Lexus Eco Challenge Aquaponics with the assistance of master builder Natus. They built this amazing system here. So we have 4 pools. Again, there's more. These are all from students, so if you catch the theme of all this, most of what I have in the room is actually not bought, but actually from the donations and rescue from students, or what people find other people are discarding them. So actually I'm feeding 2 here. So these guys haven't been fed. It's over the weekend, so watch this. So last time we checked, there was probably about 30 in there. Actually, we may look into I don't know, finding some place or some shelters that can benefit from them, and kind of recycling some of our young tilapia into those pools, and unfortunately using those guys for potential food, because they're really not breeding too much in there. We kind of can't get a gauge on it. These are all tilapia too. Who knows, maybe 70 in there or so. And these are 400-gallon pools. Sorry, I left the food over there. This is made by a company that makes dog food. And luckily with the money from Project Reservoir, we're able to basically fund all this stuff, because we don't receive any other funding from the district or anything like that. So it's just basically school run and school funded. These guys are all rescue. That big one there, it was from Mary's daughter, teacher number 8. That's Ja Rule, like the rapper. Check this out. I believe there's 10 maybe in there. Yellow bellies and red ear sliders. So these guys are kind of cool. The kids during the year love coming up here and checking out the greenhouse, and sometimes I pull out the turtles and freak out the little pre-K and kindergarten. It's kind of cool too. So unfortunately, we had a battle last school year with whiteflies, and they took out everything. It's kind of cool though how you know, kind of nature always finds a way, like in Jurassic Park stuff there. But so we cut it all down, and you have a healthy root system, you'll probably get the plant back. So the cool thing is it's free of whiteflies, I think. And spiders have kind of made a home in here, so any whiteflies that we didn't kind of kill or capture have been consumed by the spiders. So we'll try to cycle this into something new again this, you know, maybe October or so, when new kids get involved back here. But you know, we tried ladybugs, and we spent a lot of money on ladybugs, and you see there's still some, but ladybugs were supposed to assist with the whiteflies. They didn't do anything. Which we're going to try lacewings. We bought the larva of the lacewings twice, and nothing happened there. We didn't want to buy the adults just for them flying around, and Miss Antania would try to kick me out of school, and Dr. Elder might too. So you know, they can be a little freaky flying around. So you know, we battled and battled and battled, and it just didn't work. So if anyone has suggestions on how to get rid of whiteflies, and keep in mind we are in hydroponics here, so we can't use any chemicals that will drip into the water and affect the chemistry of the water. So that's always a concern too. All right, I'm at 413. I got 451 in here. So it's a fig tree. It comes from Nono's yard. Been growing for a while. I think I got everything in here. So yeah, this is hashtag 221 Science. If you want to check out the other ones, this will eventually be posted on our YouTube channel. Might want to conclude with that. So you got the Instagram, the Twitter, and the YouTube. All right, so a couple days the kids will be back in here, and we'll do our thing. And that's it. Kind of a little difficult to see in there, but I forgot to mention this on the original. You know, just do one take on these things. So Sorry, but so this is something I designed for my son when he was little. This is kind of a marble themed aquarium, and you know, he kind of lost interest in it at home, so we brought it in here. I think it's impossible to see in there, but so oh, there you go. So right now it's just again guppies with everything. There's some Java moss on there, but so you see Spider-Man. Whoa, sorry. Thor was floating around, and so was Beast, and who knows where they went. This tank obviously needs some significant algae control as well, but Iron Man's back there. Loki's locked up in the cage. So this is something I independently designed at home, and we brought it to the classroom. You know, just for the kids, and they love it. Little kids come in here, and they, you know, obviously love characters, and they identify with that. So we, you know, Mr. Brown and I, we thought that, hey, you know, why not do something like this with the kids when they have free time? So this is basically what we use. It's any type of product that's you know, used for ponds, and it's basically an expandable foam used for waterfalls to adhere rocks together. So we actually created a Twitter account, and we have an Instagram. It's called Student Designed Aquariums, and it you know, the basis is from this. So we got to go over to hashtag 208 science now. But so I also did a tank with Joel. He's in high school now. And you know, he always had an interest in animals, and you know, we kind of tapped into that as his hook. And we designed a pretty cool Batman DC tank for his little brother, and he has that at home. So this is our Stranger Things aquarium. So this one was designed, that graphic there was from Mr. Brown's students. And then we just kind of pieced things together. We did a lot of sculpting, and all that was 3D printed by Joaquin. You know, we purchased, Mr. Brown and I, with some donations we had coming in again from the community. Someone anonymously helped fund this tank. And then it's kind of hard to see, but you have the upside down there. So we have an LED light underneath, and you know, there's some characters down there too. So the kids love this. They, you know, we spent a while on this one. Unfortunately, we had a problem. It actually leaked. So lesson learned. I don't think you can put, you know, that foam glass to glass. I guess it just kind of stressed the glass too much, and there must be a pinhole leak somewhere in there. So we'll probably convert this to maybe an insect tank or something like that. It'll be kind of cool to see them crawl around. And the kids have already plans for, you know, new tanks this year. So it's just another thing we do here to, you know, kind of spark the interest of kids who want to design. So here's a little bit of one of our other science rooms. This is Mr. Brown's, who does a great job in here too. And then we have Ms. Huck and hashtag 210 science. So, you know, middle school science, PS20. All right, so this is an extension of 221 science, a combination, more Project Reservoir, but definitely the school benefits from the existence of this room too. So Dennis, he's a freshman, actually going to be a sophomore in college, believe it or not. He created that when he was in 7th going into 8th grade. Some of the things we focused on in the past and still in the current. Just a little graphic for the kids to check out before they go to recess and lunch. So this was an old storage room, and Dr. Elder allowed us to convert it into, at the time, our school's second aquaculture lab. The first one upstairs has changed a little bit since then, but again, everything you see in this room either was from donations or through purchase from money that Project Reservoir students raised for the next generation of Project Reservoir. So all these pools are 600 gallons as opposed to the ones upstairs that are 400 gallons. So in here we have tilapia. We have the state's only contained tilapia release permit for the last 2 years. They weren't in the reservoir this summer just because we actually can't go into the reservoir with our students. Unfortunate legal reasons that we're hoping gets worked out. This is definitely depriving the kids of that outdoor classroom. But these 10 in here, there's one down there, actually spent a summer in the reservoir 2 years ago. So the other 3 currently aren't functioning right now, but they will be possibly if we have a team or students that are interested in culturing something or just working with a different type of animal that we can possibly provide for them. So here's some past technology. This is an old, this is actually mini model of the tilapia cage that actually is floating around the reservoir right now. And there's our food storage, and these were donated by the Newark Museum some years ago. They used to have a mini zoo exhibit, and with the help of actually Mr. Apruzzi, the vice principal from number 6, who used to be a teacher here, we went and actually picked them up. We brought them to the school years back. That's where it all started for Project Reservoir. Mr. Natus' name is not on there. So we have 3 500 gallons. We have a 55 gallon here. We have again, it's funded by Project Reservoir. This is Pleasantdale Ambulatory Care. They donated their desks, so we use them for stands. We have a 55 back there. The art department actually beautified these walls some years back. Ms. Farrow and Ms. Cordero took care of that, which was nice. And again, this room is all custodial staff, other teachers, us just basically over time working with it. Some old prototypes from Project Reservoir that are waiting to, kind of get restored. Here's our custom flood table. This was the old robotics table, 4 by 8 foot. We actually put a coat of rubber on it. It's actually in line to flood. We have built-in reservoirs underneath, and this is where our storm team, they just recently graduated, they work on trials with oil. So this is Joaquin designed this, amazing 3D designer. He does all our 3D designs. And this is basically it. Just a lot of storage right now, a lot of Project Reservoir stuff, some aquaponics back there, and basically just another tool in the building for students who are interested in STEM, and just to come down here and independently explore and work and learn. This is what we do. Getting back to the community ties with what we do here. So here's another example. So this whole aquarium stand here, which can support maybe 14 to 12 10-gallon aquariums. So we have a custom light there. So this is going to be home to the Snail Samurai team, like we talked about earlier. This was actually donated by Coastal Points Construction. They actually built 2 of these for us, which is very nice, and the other one's actually in Mr. Brown's room, I believe. Or it might still be in Miss Huck's room, I'm not sure. And another cool thing Coastal Points Construction did is they basically donated all this lumber, which we definitely would not have been able to afford. So they brought a truck and they donated this. Again, that's going back a little bit with the Aquaponics team. And with their generous donation, Mr. Natus and the kids were able to construct and build this, which does a lot of good use for the community with giving food to the kids throughout the year, and just kids learning about aquaponics. So that's it. Some more cool pictures of some of the kids too. And that's it. Hope you liked the video.